area at here. The first one is the energy efficiency. The second one is how we can create renewable energy, and also how we can make a clean power technology to be used, and also how can we make low carbon fuel, and then mine reclamation, which is the fifth one is not our concern, but it is included in energy sector. So especially in my authority is concerning about this four. So if we're talking about the sector of the energy efficiency, which is in the last part of our talk, I will definitely talk about the woman activity that should be on this area. So firstly, I want you to know about the energy efficiency. It is how we can reduce the uses of the energy, and we can do more smart on the energy uses. So we can reduce the emission through the energy efficiency. It's about 7 to 8% of the more than a half of the energy target emission could be reduced from energy efficiency. And this is include the energy management, the efficiency of household utensils, and energy saving solar road lamp. With this and the electric vehicle, we can use the electric vehicle, the energy efficiency for improvement for cooking, and also a joint credit mechanism of Indonesia. Well, this is the kind of the energy efficiency that we can reduce the emission. So at here, if we deeply looking at the area that women can do, it's like energy management, efficiency of household, of course, and then the energy saving. So this is kind of the woman that can suggest in the household. We can use the lamp, the efficient lamp, and also the improvement of electric cooking using electric stove. Yeah, with the clean cooking also we can we can add more activity of women at here. So and the second one is renewable energy. Of course, we can use more renewable energy in our activity and our development now. And the example of this is in Indonesia, we have such kind of national strategy of the electricity. So in those all of national strategy of electricity, we put more on the renewable energy development, such as using the green national energy target, and rooftop. We using rooftop PV. We have a new regulation on rooftop PV, and also solar power plant, hydropower, and off-grid renewable energy. As well as the biofuel, we do much on the biofuel uses in the transportation sector. And also we use a direct utilization of renewable energy, such kind of the industry that will use solar power, or they will use bioenergy for direct uses. And of course, we have many power plants in Indonesia. So we have a strategy to do the co-firing in our power plant. We use a biomass as a co-firing, and we also in the future we will use hydrogen and ammonia for co-firing. And for the third one is the clean power technology. We put more on the carbon capture, storage, and a new gas power plant. So in terms of energy transition, we will do in a low carbon fuel. It's definitely being on the fuel switching on transportation sector with the gas, or others with the like a biofuel. and also from the oil to liquid petroleum gas conversion also the be part of the low carbon fuel strategy. And natural gas for the public transportation also part of it, and we will add more on the gas network. So this kind of the sector that we can do to make reduce of the emission. And for the target of this year, we are increasing of the our target and to reduce the GHG emission, and this is on the track, and we will put more attention to reduce it. So now the target, between the target and the realization, it's a kind of a good situation, but we want to do more to make a reduction on the emission. And for Indonesia, maybe this is the country by country, it's different target to achieve the net zero emission, which is in developed country, they choose 2050, but Indonesia choose 2060. And for the a country like India, it choose 2070 for the target of the net zero emission. And the pathway that we can do to achieve the net zero emission is the first, of course, we will implement we will use new and renewable energy and the best practice of the low carbon fuel, and also the electrification, and of course the energy efficiency, as I said before, and the carbon capture storage. This would be a big picture of the pathway of the energy sector that can do reduce the emission. So in the new and renewable energy, we have biomass, solar, wind, hydro, geothermal, and in the future we will put more attention on the utilization of new energy such as hydrogen and ammonia. And the demand side, biofuel in transportation and industry and in industry. Of course, the green hydrogen for industrial and transportation uses would be a part of the demand side to the renewable energy. And for low carbon best practice, we have co-firing in the power plant, and mostly we do with the biomass. What we use on the biomass is a kind of bamboo. It's kind of any plant that on the surrounding of the power plant can be used as a biomass. And conversion of the coal-fired plant, power plant, and the diesel power plant, we change it into gas-fired power plant. And we are now also have a regulation to gradually phase out of coal power plant. But now in our strategy will not be phasing out the coal power plant, but gradually reduce that we call phase down. So we say to be phased down, not phasing out, but phased down. And of course, in the demand side, we need that the transportation fuel, we will go for the biofuel, and then we will do more on the implementation of the biodiesel, and also we will go to the bioethanol as well. And now we are thinking also about the utilization of dimethyl ether as an alternative fuel in the household sector. It could be combined with the some kind of LPG in the household. So maybe in the country and Islamabad also doing some conversion from the ICE combustion engine in the transportation sector goes to the electrification. So in the supply side, the transition of the industrial process to utilize the energy, the electricity, would be generated from new and renewable energy. And of course, in the industrial sector, there is needs of the heating process. Maybe now we have resources like natural gas resources used to the heat system in the industry, and this is gradually converted to the electricity or electrification, and then some of them is now gradually changing to use the hydrogen. So if we burn the hydrogen, there is no emission. So we change from the natural gas into the hydrogen gas. And of course, the electrification is a step in between of the changing or transition. And we are also accelerating the implementation of electric vehicle now in transportation sector. Increasing of the electrification and residential and commercial areas is also our target. So in the transition, we put more attention on the carbon capture storage as well. But it is it's still expensive. But I think in the big sector of industry of refinery should do with the carbon capture storage. And this is our renewable energy that now have been a big project in our country. The solar PV in North Sulawesi, the geothermal in West Java, and also wind turbine, a big wind turbine of 72 megawatt in South Sulawesi, and also a wind power plant in the east west, like a West Java, near Sumatra Island. So I think this is renewable energy that we can do in Indonesia. There is a various resources. And each island is different. So it is our uniqueness. And for your information, we are now make a review for our energy law. We will produce the renewable energy law, which not yet have been published, but because we have talked with our parliament right now. And the new things at here is if we, in the last part, in the previous law, which is produced by 2007, it's really old version. The new energy is like a liquefaction coal bed methane, gasification coal. It's not longer on. We have no longer this kind of technology in our next new law. So in the new law, in the new energy law, we just only mention about the hydrogen, ammonia, and nuclear as a new energy. The other renewable energy is still the same: geothermal, hydro energy, hydropower, and sun, also wind and sea. And for okay, yes. Okay, I go for the draft of the electrification planning in our national regulation. So we put more attention on the hydropower and geothermal power. So you can see here wind turbine, wind energy also at a portion. So in the previous planning, it's a big attention on the solar panel, but we reduce the demand of the solar panel, and we put more attention on the geothermal, and also the hydro and wind turbine at here. And then, of course, we have also the hydrogen include on our national strategy, even it start from the 2050, and then the ammonia also be part of this renewable energy to be used as a fuel. And definitely you can see here the coal usage is reducing. So we will have no coal after 2050. And then we can meet the target on net zero on 2060. And we put more attention at here is storage. So this is the small portion of a white square at here is the battery as energy storage. So this is the our strategy to fit into the net zero strategy. And of course, the de-dieselization is kind of our program also. You know, maybe we use in the remote area, in the many areas, we have a diesel power plant, so we want to reduce it or replace it to another resources like solar, like hydrogen gas, like hydropower, and so on. So we will have more attention also to reduce our diesel uses. So maybe the student at here do not know Indonesia. With this is our maps in Indonesia, and you can see a big land at here. I'm now in the Jakarta, located at Jakarta is here, is our capital. And you know the next capital of Indonesia, the new capital is Indonesia, and located at Kalimantan Island. This is the Kalimantan Island, and this is Java Island, and this is Sumatra, and also this is Sulawesi Island. If you see all of this strategy, we have a super grid at here. So this is a grid that connected between island to island, and this is our strategy. It's not a mid-term, but it's also a long-term agenda of our national strategy to electrify all of the islands in Indonesia. And of course, this is the east part. East part of Indonesia is not yet to be connected because this is high cost if we take a grid from here to here. So the problem is at the East Indonesia, which is now there is so much diesel uses at this part. So we want to reduce it by converting to the renewable energy. And you can see each island have a target, their own target, and we ask a local government to help us to make a local strategy to implement the what kind of the strategy of each province or each village. It's different. So if you see from the west side of Indonesia, is a big resources of the geothermal and also palm oil plantation. So we can use a bioenergy at here. But if we're talking about this middle part of the Indonesia, we had abundance of the hydropower resources. And we talk about this location, we have more on geothermal. And then if we talk about this each part, is a huge potential of the intensity of solar in Indonesia. So we can use easily ground mounted of the solar PV in East Indonesia. And here is Papua Island. Papua Island would be a very huge potential of the hydropower. We have a big river at here. But now the difficult things, it's different about supply and demand. The growing economic is at Java, but the ungrowing is on the east of Indonesia. So it is there is a big supply of resources at East Indonesia, but we cannot transfer to the west side. So it is really huge. Yeah, we're really huge. If you know it's like a big America. So if you can see here, it's like a San Francisco, and there is a New York at here. So it is really huge. And about the potential that I mentioned before, each island is different potential at different location, different resources. So we can provide abundance of resources in Indonesia, such as solar, hydro, bioenergy, wind, geothermal, ocean, and so on. So at here, we have a big potential, about almost near to 4 terawatt of power, but the utilization or the implementation is very small, not more than 30%, not yet. And this is our challenge, that our national energy mix also not yet becoming our target. So we now do so much effort to taking care of the renewable energy implementation. But in the investment cost now for renewable energy is slightly decreasing, and there is a much decrease on the solar cost, solar PV and wind turbine. It's now is they have decreased the cost, and this is a good things that we can do the implementation, we can do the install of the solar and wind turbine in Indonesia. So I think so much big opportunity of investment. So I call to all of the international participants to make some investment on Indonesia to develop the renewable energy. There is so much project in our country right now. We have also a big solar PV. We have a big floating solar PV. It's 193 megawatt of solar PV in the floating in the lake. Now it's happened, and it would be increased more than, and there is an additional solar floating PV of 500 megawatts in our lake. And of course, we put more attention on geothermal. So there is many additional capacity in our national strategy. This is the example of the solar energy development, especially in our country. What I said before is the floating solar PV, this huge location. And all of the dam right now in Indonesia, it's available to use as the land of the solar. So we can put more solar, floating solar in our dam. So it's a big potential of we have now. And of course, on the not only ground mounted, if I think many people at here know about ground mounted solar PV. We do some acceleration on the solar PV in the rooftop of building or rooftop of the household. You can put solar on your household, and we accelerate more. We have so much attention that people can do putting the solar PV. There is a leasing program also that no need to buy, but we just like a rental leasing PV to put in our house. For the I want you to share. I want to share about the bioenergy development. So maybe you know the biodiesel, maybe you know solar diesel as a fuel. So we put a mandatory of biodiesel right now in Indonesia, and this is the highest one in the entire world. So we have 35% of the palm oil can be used as a solar. We mixing to the solar diesel. And we have a mandatory also, maybe in the next year would be increased to be 40%. So with this concept, we can reduce more than I think so the carbon of the bioenergy here is would be more than 1 million of the reduction of the emission. 47 million. So we can reduce 47 million of CO2 by implementing this kind of program. So about the bioenergy, we also asking many power plants now in Indonesia to use the biomass. So we can reach more than 2.2 million tons of biomass now have been used in Indonesia, and we will add more on this the biomass. And interesting point here. If we use biomass for co-firing, definitely will include women at here, because women helping the biomass collection in the such area and selling to the power plant. So this is the uniqueness of our strategy also to include the women. And the next one I want to share to you about the hydro energy development. There is a big potential of the hydropower right now in Indonesia. It is very huge, and this is the cheapest one to get the electricity price. So the hydropower, it's really have a big potential, and but the difficulties here is how we can manage the water in the upstream, and we can't install the hydropower plant, but needs like a 5 year or 7 year to install. So it is need a time to build the hydropower. But at the end we can get a more cheaper electricity. Now the cheapest way to get the electricity is from the hydropower. And the other one is I want to share to you about the geothermal development. So Indonesia have a ring of fire from the Sumatra Island to Java Island, and at here we have a big potential of the geothermal, but it's look like a man working at here. But before we can drilling, before we can develop the geothermal, there is social issues at here. Thus, we need a woman to be involved on this area, not on the how to build, but to taking care of the social issues before the development of the geothermal. So now in our institution also, we asking many women, we asking many young people to understand the renewable energy, then to tell people as many as you can to tell about the important things that we can do to supply the electricity. Because and if we're talking about the location of geothermal, it's like mountain, or it's like some kind of remote area, some kind, the location is on the conservation area. It is difficult to get in. So so this is a big potential, but it's like a little bit difficulties to do. But I think it's really challenging to accelerate the geothermal development. So in this development, we need a collaboration. We need to make socialization to the local community at the resources. And in the last part of this this sharing about the renewable energy, of course, we do some more attention also on the hydrogen development. In Indonesia, we have many activities of the green hydrogen production. It's start with the National Electricity Company. There is many production using the electrolyzer with the green electricity to produce the hydrogen, which is the hydrogen is the next fuel. And also we will accelerate the bioenergy on the aviation sector. So we are started use the sustainable aviation fuel. It is bio after. So with it's come from the palm kernel oil, and we have also already test the several experiment, the not yet a commercial uses, but we are have a test flight to use the jet fuel, to use the bio jet fuel in several routes of the commercial flights. And we have some more advantages on the floating PV. The issues now at here is how we can create the local industry to supply the component of the floating solar PV. It's important. So I will talk about the activity of the women in energy transition. So you know that gender and energy is the kind of unique combination. Women play a crucial role in the energy sector. It is very much indeed, and they have been utilizing and relying on the energy to carry out their activities and play a significant role to managing household energy consumption. So in the area of energy, in the era of energy transition, women have a significant role in influencing and being influenced by this transition process. And this influence is particularly felt in rural and remote area. So definitely we need a woman and a young generation to have to socialize the energy, the efficiency of energy, and also to creating an activity about the renewable energy in such kind of community and local community, and also in remote area. For example, we do the activity on the efficient energy efficiency, such like telling the household to change the lamp into the LED lamp, or using the efficient solar lamp. And then we are also do the installation of the solar power street lights. And we have also implementing the power supply application. Is deliver a battery to the local community, and then the power is come from the solar PV storage in the battery, and then people can charge their handphone, can use as a power supply for the electricity and household. And also we creating the training to make a household a biogas. And we are also sharing about the electric stoves in the several area, because we want they can use the electricity more aggressively. And definitely we need women as an actors of energy transition. So the capacity building also need in the renewable energy to share to the people and to make some education to women. And of course, utilizing safer and more affordable renewable energy sources is important. And we need a woman to participation and innovation in renewable energy source and energy conversation. And we need also a woman to conduct the socialization on renewable energy as well. And we have to involve as much as we can, women and young, to make a decision in energy management. So this is the example that the efforts to enhance the gender inclusion in renewable energy sector. So gender would be mainstreaming in the renewable energy sector. Also increase women participation and training and skill development is very important. And the policies to support gender equality is also important. And of course, we want to eliminate the negative gender-related stigma. And we want to add some more women to make a decision, to be a part of decision making. And of course, there is many area that we can provide inclusive job opportunities for all genders. And this is an example on the remote area, gender inclusion pilot project in Mata-ready solar power plants. We have a collaborate project with the British Embassy in Jakarta under the Mentari program. Our ministry is developing the solar power system in village in East Nusa Tenggara in East Jawa and East Indonesia, with focus on electricity provision, community development, and also enhancing the local economy. So we built, this is just for example, we built many, but this is just example that we have 2 units of solar PV off grid, and the installed capacity is 95 kilowatt peak. This is supplied to one village. They make their own enterprise. So this is the important things that if we give the solar PV installation in such a local area, it should be a sustainable development over there. So we want we do training to the local people, and we make their own enterprise with like a BUMDES. BUMDES, it's a village owned enterprise, so they can manage. They can do a maintenance of the battery, maintenance of the solar power as well. And we have with this program, we have 880 participants that most of them is more than a half is women, and they have a training. And of course, we creating the champions. It means that a local champion is important. So we create the people have a skill, a good skill to can make the maintenance or operation for the PV. And there is 15 women champions over there. So it is a good example that women can be a part of the renewable energy project. And this is one of the example that from the Solar Power System Center, they have a solar dryer, and they can make some drying system to make lemongrass distillation. So they make a drying of the herbs and like a lemongrass, like ginger and so on to dry and use as resources. And I think this is very unique because it's on the local area in the village, and they can produce something that can they also can sell it to the others village. And the other program is we have collaboration with US, collaborating with USID and with the CINAR program. There is the Energy Gender Hub program. It's we are establishing a platform for cross-agency collaboration and advocating for facilitating the right women working in energy sector. So this is kind of the capacity building by doing workshop, focus group discussion, public consultation, and also socialization, and also all of the policy is gender mainstreaming policy draft, and to monitoring and evaluation in the gender mainstreaming policy. So it's called Guerrilla, this program Guerrilla. This is the independent study program for students across the Indonesia. So we do creating a young researcher, a young generation that know about the renewable energy and can share to another. And the last things that we can share here is we have a collaboration in renewable energy development with the many stakeholders. We do share to community, NGO. We asking the academic area, and we asking also local government to be a part of this collaboration. And we need a media mainstream to educate the people, and we need also the enterprise. Because once we have installed in the remote area, in the local area, it should be sustained. So we can have all of the part of it to be a good ecosystem. So I think that's all that I can share to you. Maybe we can have some more question and answer after this. So thank you so much. The time I give it back to the MC.
Thank you so much, Dr. Eniya. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam DG. So we learned that it's not global warming, but it's global boiling, yeah, Madam DG, yeah. And 75% that contributes to the global warming is from the energy sector. And then from the presentation, Madam DG already shared with us about the efforts how to reduce global greenhouse gas emissions in Indonesia. And then also, I think now the target for net zero emission in Indonesia is still ongoing and it's on track. We also, there are several examples that Madam DG already shared with us. And also, I think that's one important takeout. Collaboration and socialization to the local communities is really important, because climate change is not just a matter for governmental, but also it's a collective efforts from the society, from the community, from everyone. So we need to tackle this together. And then also women play crucial role in energy sector, because women is managing household for energy consumption, and women can also take part in the socialization of And then from the presentation, we can see two examples of women participation from Mentari project in East Nusa Tenggara. And then also, in Mentari project, there are around 400 participants, women participations that undergo solar power system training, Madam DG. And then also there's another one project by USAID, Sinar program for energy gender hub. So we have a lot of takeaways from today's session. So I would like to calling for questions or maybe comments on the sessions. We have one questions here on the chat box. With Indonesia being an archipelago, how are its coastal regions and communities being impacted by sea level rise, coastal erosions, and extreme weather events? What mitigation and adaptation strategies are in place, Madam DG? It's from Irmash Malik. Thank you, Irmash Malik.
Okay, it's about the mitigation of the disaster, Eniya, or a sea level rise. Now it's one of the issues that we move our capital from Jakarta to the new capital in another island is because of the rising of the sea level. So there's a big issues in our national of Indonesia. Then we want to move to the others island. So it is well, it's difficult situation if we have a rising of the sea level. So one of the example is move our capital to another island. And about the coastal erosion, it's I'm also just have information that our micro hydro has been have a damage on our installation in our region of Papua. There is a flood, also extreme weather, and have an impact to damage our micro hydro. So once we had that, we cannot do anything with our micro hydro. It has been installed, and then there is some flooding, and we need to rebuild again. But I think once if that location it's already have been damaged by disaster, so we need to think another renewable energy, another resources of the energy could be replaced on that area. And I think to mitigate all of those things is how we can reduce our emission. It's a big task in our in many programs in Indonesia. We have so much issues to reduce the emission from the transportation. So there is a big population of our nation. It's about 270 million people now in Indonesia, which is the third largest in the world. So in the transportation sector is a really huge challenge. Now we creating the electric vehicle program, but not so many people have changed, but now increasing. So they change to buy the electric car. And then our ministry now have a program to make a conversion of the motorcycle from ICE, international combustion engine, that have they use gasoline, to change to the electric vehicle. So we have a program to provide more than 4,000 units of the motorcycle that can be converted from the ICE gasoline into the electricity. So it will create local community, local industry, a small industry that can convert. They have a skill to convert the ICE into the electric vehicle. So they can buy some battery, they can buy an electric motor, and they can set in the motorcycle, so they can run again with the no emission. So that's one of the example that we can address how we can reduce the emission. So. Okay, thank you so much for the question.
They are shy at first, but now they have more questions, Madam DG.
Oh, yes. No, yes. Okay. Yeah, you can read it one by one.
All right, I'm going to read out with the first one. How does deforestation in Indonesia impact global climate change, and what steps are being taken to address this issue? I think this is a really good question.
Well, deforestation.
Yep.
Okay. Well, some of people talking about the deforestation in Indonesia, but we are now calculated really carefully about deforestation. For example, we accelerate the bioethanol program in Papua Island, which is we have 2 million hectares. It converts to the sugarcane plantation from the old forest. So maybe it's called deforestation, but to replace that one, we plant it again. We planting the sugarcane and to make a new energy. So that's what we do. And there is a change of land using also, but I think now, well, several areas in Indonesia have deforestation issues, but I think the local government now it's put attention to prevent people to make a deforestation. But I think we have many programs to replanting. So, for example, not the issue of deforestation, but issues of the replanting of the mining area. So that's more attention on the to make a replanting of the mining area. So there is a project of the nickel mining, cobalt mining, mineral minings in Indonesia, for example, in Sulawesi Island. And there is many mining of the coal mining. But we now make a big program to replanting, to make a forest on the mining uses area. Yeah. Well,
okay, so maybe we can take another 2 questions, Madam DG. So
okay.
Next question will be, is there any effects on weather events on the economy of Indonesia and on the educational system? And also there's a question about how the Indonesian government collaborating with international organizations to combat climate change, Madam DG. Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
I think the
here.
BG just got disconnected. We just need
Yes.
to wait for a moment.
Sure.
So I was informed previously that Madam BG might be representing the minister for some sort of event. While waiting, maybe I will try to address the questions to my knowledge. So the first question, is there any effect on weather events on the economy of Indonesia? Actually, Indonesia and Pakistan share the same climate. We are tropical countries. And the difference is that in Pakistan, I think Pakistan dependent heavily on the monsoon rainfall, and then also the Indus Basin Lake, which spans from north to the south. And that affect many sectors, including agriculture. So, having the fact that, as a tropical countries, we have a downside and also an opportunity. For example, like Madam BG already mentioned, in Indonesia, we are trying to develop more and more solar energy as a new renewable energy source. So we can always put that as an opportunity for us to address the issue of climate change. And then how is the Indonesian government collaborating with international organizations to combat climate change? For me, like I mentioned earlier, I think climate change is not an easy matters. It's everyone get impacted by climate change. Not only Indonesia and Pakistan, but most countries are impacted by the climate change. So it needs global action. It needs collective actions. At the beginning, I mentioned about an article written by World Bank that even though most Pakistani parents understand the threats on climate change, yet they still reluctant to discuss climate change with their kids during dinner time or maybe in other events, in other family events, because based on the questionnaire, climate change is yet an issue here in Pakistan, according to the survey made by World Bank. So the three top priority for Pakistani is the social welfare, economic welfare, and then the education for their children. And climate change is way down on the list. So that's one thing. And then also, 2 weeks ago, Indonesia was the host for the World Water Forum in Bali. And then we at the embassy, we sent invitation to the parliament and then to the government. But yet we haven't got any delegation from Pakistan to attend the conference. I think it's a really important conference because we're trying to address the issue on the rising of the sea level, and then how to many water related issues. Elon Musk was there in Bali, Indonesia, because again, we in Indonesia, we always want to raise that the issue of climate change needs a global action, needs a collective action. So every time we are hosting like event, we want to raise the awareness of every country. Like in 2022, Indonesia was the chair for G20, and then one of the theme under our chairmanship is to everyone is invited for collective action. So we understand that this is a big threat. So we need to do it, sit down, talk, and then do it together, and then make plans together, and then try to address it together, and then achieve the net zero emission target based on our each country's characteristic. So yeah, so we are trying to always collaborating with international organizations and other countries. What prevention methods are the local people of Indonesia using to help? I think this will be similar the case with in Pakistan. Okay, we have Madam Diji. Welcome back, Madam Diji. I was trying to.
Oh yes, yes. I'm sorry. There is some technical problem in the desktop. And the
No worries,
desktop.
Madam Diji.
So I use my iPad now.
Okay, Madam Diji. Yes, please. Thank you so much for coming back and participating again. So yeah, the two questions that that we were talking about is number one, is there any effect on weather events on the economy of Indonesia and on the educational system? And then the other question is how the Indonesian government collaborating with international organizations to combat climate change.
Yes, definitely we have many collaboration to international NGO or international institution. They have funding to provide some program like a study of the policy study of the how we can implement it, the renewable energy in terms of that we have a big problem on the investment, and also the uniqueness of the international collaboration is many of the collaboration asking about the installation of renewable energy in the east part of Indonesia. So because I mentioned earlier, the East Indonesia have no grids, yeah, and there is so much diesel usage over there, so much challenging that we have no power in the East Indonesia, and there is also international program that look at the more huge vision. Now we try to make coal phase down. We will terminate our coal power plant, but it's gradually. And then there is some JETP program, Just Energy Transition Partnership Program. It's include all of the members, international members, but it is joint funding. And also we have a bilateral joint funding like Indonesia, Japan. There is ASEAN Zero Emission Community Program that we can provide the acceleration of hydropower development, and also the waste to energy development. There is a several project, which is now it's yes, thank you. I'm back here again. So,
please, Madam Diji, continue.
I'm sorry. There's many trouble about the internet now. So yeah, in terms of the international collaboration, the last thing that I want to share to you, it's about the young generation that we call from the minister. We call 100% of young generation. It's it's a graduate person, at least from the university graduate person. We training them to have knowledge on the renewable energy, to get more influence on the renewable energy situation. And we sent these young people like to remote area for 6 months or more than 6 months. It's a 1-year program. So we sent all of the remote area in Indonesia. They have a task to send us the information about the situation on the local area that has not been electrified. So they make a survey on the local remote area, and then decided how we can make some electricity over there, which is kind of like a profitability study. So it is we will decided on that area would be provided by solar PV. We can we install the solar PV, or can we install the micro hydro, or we can just use the bioresources in the local community. So we have program in our Ministry of Energy. In 1 year, we sent 100% to the remote area. So for this program, I call Patriot Energy. So we definitely want a young generation know about the remote area in Indonesia, and there is a people that cannot get the access to the electricity. So this young generation should be have a solution in the local area, and then they have a task to make a decision to decide to provide the electricity with the renewable, of course, because there is no grid. So the student that we send it to the local area should make some efforts to decide and send us the information about how much the electricity needed in that area. And then we asking the philanthropy to fund, to have to make a joint funding, and they provide the infrastructure on that area. So this kind of international collaboration that we create, it's since 2000 during the COVID. From after COVID, we start this program. Okay.
Thank you, Madam DG. I think we have 2 more questions. The next one is, what prevention methods are the local people of Indonesia using to help? And the next one is, considering the fact that climate change has effects far greater than just shift in climate patterns, such as effects on agriculture, economies, healthcare, and especially food supply, what is Indonesia planned to mitigate all these effects on climate change?
Can you repeat again one by one, please?
Okay, the first one is, what prevention methods are the local people of Indonesia using to help? I think it's to help how to address the issue on climate change. I think it's from Iman Zahra. Maybe Iman can clarify what
the local people. Yeah, the local people to prevent the emission, the climate. Well. can you make more clear about the question? It's kind of a huge question.
I think
Yes,
I
how we
think
can prevent the climate change. So it's difficult question, simple but difficult question.
yeah, maybe here in Pakistan, Madam DG, because you know the local people here rely heavily on the river named Indus Basin Lake, which is this river is based on the glacier that flows from north to south of Pakistan. So the issue of climate change might impact the agriculture sector for the local people. Maybe the question is about this, but I'm not sure. Also, Madam.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not yet visiting the Pakistan. I have many one or two friends of Pakistan when I'm studying in Japan, but I'm not yet visiting. And I have just met the Prime Minister of Tajikistan. Maybe the Tajikistan is part of the Pakistan, right? Yeah, it's in the north side, yeah. Kalau nggak salah. Tajikistan, and yeah, it's kind of a glacier when it's like a global warming, then glacier threw down the river and destroying the agriculture, you mean? Oh, so well, from it's difficult, but I trying to make some figure. When I talking to Prime Minister of Tajikistan, they said that they have a hydropower plant, a big hydropower plant, and they make a pump storage to mitigate the glacier. To mitigate the glacier coming down to the agriculture sector, they have a pump storage to control the water. So I think that's a good example. But it's the installation. It's expensive. It's expensive. But I don't know the situation in Pakistan. But the Tajikistan do the pump storage staging into the 5 level. I want to see that also, because the pump storage technology is one of our target. It could be used in Indonesia, but we have not yet pump storage right now. We will have pump storage in Indonesia. Now it's developing, and I think it is good to manage the water. Hopefully, I think the climate problem is the global problem, not the one country problem. So I think we must start from ourselves. I'm always asking people to do by yourself first. Because, for example, if we eat some things and we do not eat all of our food, you cause the climate. You cause the CO2, because once you get the food on your table, the people make it by a coal, by fossil fuel. So you must eat all of the food you have. And then once you go out from your house, please think to use a public transportation, not your own car that it's still fueled by fossil. But if you have an electrical, it's a good one. But if you don't have, please go with the public transportation. So such kind of action of your own action, it's important. So that's maybe my response to that question.
So how the local communities act, I think as they can contribute by changing the lifestyle and then the
Yes,
mindset
changing the lifestyle. Yes,
that
of course.
climate change is our responsibility. So local communities can also contribute in that sense. Okay, we're going to the last question, Madam DG. So it's quite long questions. Considering the fact that climate change has effects far greater than just shifts in climate patterns, such as effects on agriculture, economies, healthcare, and especially food supply, what is Indonesia's plan to mitigate all these effects on climate change?
Questionnya tadi di mana? Coba dinaikin.
Kalau ini sih untuk jawabannya sebelum agriculture kita ada.
Oh yes. Okay. There is a several example. There is a several example that local people can do to mitigate the climate change doing the in the village. We have a project that our national oil and gas company do with using a corporate responsibility program. They have 52 locations that supply by solar power, and then the local community can do with this renewable energy to make some economic development. So that's one of the example that the local community can do. But it should be supported by the government, or should be supported by the national state-owned company. For example, in Indonesia, it's going to be like that. And not only solar PV, but we have a hybrid program to combine solar and wind turbine, and also we use a biogas. The biogas, it's really helpful on the local community because you can create by your own. So with your wastes from the cooking waste, domestic municipal waste, we can create a biogas. You just put the cover to the waste, and then the gas is coming up. Then you can use for cooking. It's a simple way that you can use the biogas to be resource to your cooking, to your heat, to make a heat of your water, and you can do so much things with this energy. Well, that's like an example that we can do for the local community. And I think I have an example in my slide for the if we have renewable energy from solar, we can make some drying for our spicy, and that's would be create the new economy for the local. So we can make a drying system with the solar panel. And have if we have a light during a day, we can create a more efficient. If we have electricity from solar panel, and then we make a stove, and we can create the drying system. So women or local people have a ginger, have a kind of lemongrass. Can make a drying system. So they can also make a tea, herb tea, and then sell it to the market. And in Indonesia, we have e-commerce that really boomed. And after the COVID, there is many online transaction. So with the even you are in the local community in the remote area, you can sell it to the others by just using a platform, using a social media platform. I think that's one thing that we can have example to you.
Thank you so much, Madam DG, for.
I see udah ini. Okay.
Thank you so much, Madam
Yeah.
DG, for your time sharing with us on the insights on how Indonesia mitigate and adapt to climate change. I think two important takeaway from this session is one, climate change need collective actions and collaborations. And then second, women can play a crucial role in mitigating this impact. So once again, on behalf of the embassy and the participants, we would like to say thank you so much, ma'am, for participating in our session. And then again, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Pak Ferry, teman-teman di Islamabad. And
Terima kasih, Bu.
thank you so much for all the women participants at here. Hopefully we can meet again and sharing another topic to you.
Thank you, Madam DG.
Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.